Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. In case you couldn't figure it out by this imagery here, we are making a SpongeBob Lego card. And my 6-year-old decided that we should make this for my brother's birthday. And so that's what we're doing. Off camera, we are going to punch a bunch of circles to make the SpongeBob Lego dots all over his body. And those little punches from the slot punch, those are going to be his fingers. Um, so yeah, I decided we tried out the regular like hole punch that you'd use like in your office. That size we tried, and it was too small because the dots I had foam squares, they wouldn't they would show behind the regular small punch. So I decided not to use those. And so we found a bigger hole punch, and my 6-year-old, see there I am testing it out. Um, my 6-year-old punched all the cardstock for me. And I'm just verifying here that the foam dots will fit behind the circles that we've chosen because I want it to pop up so that it looks more dimensional like or like a Lego would. Excuse me. So yes, his whole body. He's not going to look like a Lego minifigure because my 6-year-old is obsessed with Legos, and he said Lego minifigures only have the bump things, I don't know what the heck they're really called, on the top of their heads. And I'm like, okay, yes, I get what you're saying, but he's going to be like a flat Lego. And we are going to, I did his eyes with some different color circles that I found in my stash. And his eyelashes, I just freehand cut out of scraps. I literally made this entire card out of scraps. So I don't know what colors of paper cardstock I used, but you can just do the same thing I did if you want to replicate this and um, just kind of go through your scraps collection. I will say that putting down all the dots with the foam squares, that was pretty time consuming. Even though I tried to make like an assembly line type of situation with it, it was still time consuming because picking the backs off of all the little foam squares was really time consuming. And that's why I sped that whole process up so you didn't have to watch me stick down a million foam squares because that's really annoying. And I was also realizing as I made this that SpongeBob looks really weird. Like as I was putting this all together and I was like cutting out his nose and his mouth and all the stuff, and I was like, SpongeBob looks really weird. Look at those big old teeth he's got. I guess I was a fan of SpongeBob when he was out initially, and I never really realized how weird he looks. But now I do. But the card's cute. My brother really likes SpongeBob, so this will be fun for him. My brother will also appreciate the role that the kids had in creating this. They may not have physically put it together, but they did kind of direct me in how I was going to build it, and they helped with some of the parts. So, and they always get to write inside cards that we send to family members. So that'll be a lot of fun for him. He is currently traveling in Italy, and when he gets home, it will be after his birthday, but I'm very proud of myself because he'll have this card when he gets home along with his gifts. And that's a win for me because I usually am not on top of sending things in a timely fashion. All right, so we are going to install SpongeBob's mouth now. And I'm also gonna do sleeves for him because if you look at a picture of SpongeBob, he does have tiny white sleeves, which my 6-year-old pointed out don't match up with where his shirt is, but such is SpongeBob. So I'm gonna put little slits of white cardstock on both sides of his arms after after the part where I glue it to the back of his body. So SpongeBob's arms and legs are going to kind of fold up over him when he goes in the envelope. And then he's going to, oh, and his nose is going to fold up as well. So all of his, extremities and stuff are going to kind of like pop out of the card when it gets taken out of the envelope, which is kind of fun. So I think I'm working on, oh yeah, right now I'm doing his teeth. That was not his sleeves that I was doing right there. That was his teeth. So his teeth, I decided to glue to the bottom of his nose because if you like look at him, a picture of him, his nose comes out from by his eyes, and that's pretty much where his teeth come out, is like the bottom of his nose. So because he's going to be like a 3D type of card, I decided that all that needed to be attached together. Like there, you can kind of see there, his nose is glued on top of his mouth, but his teeth were glued onto his nose before I glued the nose and teeth part onto the mouth. And I did pop that all up on foam squares. And then I'm just going to attach the rest of the foam squares that need to be there. I didn't decide to put the foam dots, or like the SpongeBob dots behind his whole like eyeballs and mouth and stuff, because like I said, the doing the foam dots was excuse me, was a very time consuming process. And at this point I was over it, so I'm just going to put the rest of the dots where they need to be so that it looks like it's complete, and nobody else is going to ever know that he doesn't have his dots everywhere behind his eyeballs and stuff. And yeah, so I did make this card for a hop that is a monthly discovery hop. You're supposed to like dig through your supplies and find stuff you haven't used in a long time and make something with it. And I will say that I did with this, because it didn't take very many supplies, but I did use punches that I haven't used in a while, like the small ones. That slot punch hasn't been used in a long time. So I was glad to pull things out that I hadn't used and use them in a creative fashion to make this birthday card, which I realized after I finished putting it all together that I did forget something for SpongeBob. But when you see the final picture, if you are a SpongeBob fan, leave me a comment below and let me know what I forgot, because I didn't realize it till after we were ready to put it in the mail. My 6-year-old pointed it out. All right, so now I'm assembling his hands. I took small yellow circles and then I glued the fingers on them. Yes, and then I glued another circle on top, and that's my anti-static powder tool. I am going over the hands with the anti-static powder tool because the hands are going to fold over the front of SpongeBob, and I don't want them to like get stuck to his front. I want them to freely pop off when and his legs too. I think I just don't record the part of doing the anti-static on his legs. So yeah, I want it to pop off and I don't want it to stick. So that is why I did the anti-static powder tool over his little hands. And we are going to adhere it. Now the front of SpongeBob that I'm making right now is going to get glued to a whole entire card base. So I am going to glue his arms to the back of the card panel that he is on. And I'm going to use the reverse tweezers to hold his arm in place while the glue dries, because it's not really easy to weigh him down or whatever, because he's so dimensional. So I'm going to use the reverse tweezers on both sides to hold his little arms down, and so that they can dry without getting stuck to anything. And then I am going to use I already did the strips of white paper on his arms to make him have his sleeves. I did glue those little white strips of paper for his sleeves on both sides of his arms, because when his arms are folded over onto himself, he will be able to see both sides of his arms. So of course his little sleeves had to cover both sides of his SpongeBob arms. And there's the finished product. Let me know if you notice what's missing. Alright, let me know if you would make a card like this, or if it's too time consuming for you. Thank you so much, and here's my 5-year-old. She helped a little bit too. She was so excited for this card. Leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have a great day. Bye.